Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Oh, Freak Nation, do we have a show for you today? You got 4 hosts for Speed Freaks, and you have us in 4 different locations. Crasher, she's at the Media Center, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Statman's in Columbus, Ohio. Richard C. Suave's in Phoenix. And I'm in a home office in Indianapolis. And as we are recording the show, the Coke 600 hours is still under a lightning. Okay, the lightning delay has been lifted, and now they're going to allegedly dry the track. And we're told, again, our apologies that we can't stay up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to get to the finale of the Coke 600. But who needs the Coke 600 when you had a fantastic finish with the Indy 500 on Sunday? And, of course, what happened with Formula One in Monaco? We're going to get all the insight from our 2 Formula One experts, Statman and Richard C. Suave, when it comes to Formula One coming up. But, man, what a freaking finish for the Indy 500. Be sure you follow us on Twitter, of course, or as the kids call them, X, Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, the website, speedfreaks.tv. If you miss any of the show, you can catch up on our YouTube page. And if you want to listen to it, go to the website. Again, speedfreaks.tv. We'll have it up there for you beginning, of course, today here with Speed Freaks. Crasher, you're hanging out there at the Media Center, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's late for a Sunday night for us to typically record this show. But looking at the interview that you did with Josef Newgarden just shortly before we started recording the show, Josef Newgarden, your winner, back-to-back winner. This guy looks like he just got out of bed and had an 8-9 hour rest or sleep. Where does this cat get his energy?
I will completely agree with you. He looked great. He sounded great. He acted great. I don't know, maybe it's just a little bit of this Groundhog Day, but in a positive way, mentality of, hey, I've been here. I've done this. I'm good with it now. So, yeah, it was just everything about him just exuded fun and just confidence all month of May. That team was on it. There was no way people were beating Team Penske this month, from the pole to the pit stop competition to today's race. Incredible.
Getting to that epic finish where, I got to be honest, I was driving back from the track to the home studio to do the show, and I could not watch the race live as it was happening, because given the fact that I had to get back here and get some pre-production done for the show, Crasher stayed there at the race to see the finale and, of course, to interview Josef Newgarden. But Statman, of course, is there on his couch, probably taking in some Cavassiers. He's watching. Josef Newgarden was back-to-back. Richard C. Suave, who knows what the hell he was doing. Richard was probably in his car watching the damn. I watched the last 2 laps in the car on my phone with my daughter in the back. Yes, we pulled over on the side of the road so I could watch those 2 last laps.
I was just going to say, please clarify.
Yes. Yeah. Hold it up. Going at 465. Hey, we pulled over to the side of the road and watched those last 2 laps. And I didn't even think at the time, Stat, that Pato O'Ward, who, again, was leading with that last lap to go, had that. It didn't even come to me that Pato pulled into the lead just a little too early. For those that were following the race may have thought the same thing, Statman.
Yeah, I thought he practiced or rehearsed with 5 laps to go. He passed Newgarden and went into the lead, jumped up, and looked like he decided that he wanted to be in second place. So he got in second and moved up on Newgarden again. I thought this was all a foregone conclusion. But Newgarden came back, 2 passes for the lead on the last lap of the Indy 500, delayed 4 hours, run 3 hours, and they're still with minutes to go, seconds to go. They were still deciding who was going to win the thing. An incredible race. Some stupidity on the part of drivers that should have been less stupid as they ran the thing. And but the last 2 laps were the last 5 laps were a great show. I thought it was wonderful. The only thing that disappointed me, and I'm taking a lot of time here, and I'm sorry, but the only thing that disappointed me was when they talked to Award finally, the first thing out of his mouth was to blame bad driving on the part of other drivers. If he stops doing that, maybe he'll be a good driver. But as long as somebody's always else at fault for him not getting what he wants at the conclusion, he's a drama queen.
Oh, that is something I did not hear. So that's very interesting for you to point out. He did bring that up again when he was up at the media center, talking about a lot of mental errors, a lot of stupidity out on the track. And of course, we saw that in a lot of the first half of this race, the Indy 500. But interesting that was the first thing out of his mouth on NBC.
Yeah, a lot of self-inflicted wounds out there with these drivers. There was a lot of combo or triple, bam, bam, bam from other drivers. It was self-inflicted. Richie, your observations with that finale with Pato Award, the crowd was going bananas for Pato Award when he grabbed the lead, and thought this might be the time, the first Mexican to win the Indy 500, Suave.
Yeah, I thought immediately when he made that pass for the lead prior to the white flag, I said to myself, oh no, he made that move too early.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He made that move too early. And the thing I thought he did, which is, I believe it was with 3 to go, he looked, I believe it, I don't remember if it was to the inside or the outside of Josef Newgarden to maybe go for the lead then. I think it was on the back stretch, and he didn't do it. He backed off. And when he pulled that off, I was like, okay, well, he's just trying to see if he can make that move on the last lap. And that's what I thought he was going to do. I think everybody thought he was going to do that, and he didn't do it. He went way too early, and he cost himself his chance to win his first ever Indianapolis 500. It'll come, Pato. It'll come. He's too good of a driver to not have it happen. And I feel like every big time crash, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but all these drivers who have won the Indianapolis 500, most of the time, they've dealt with heartbreak like Pato has the last several years, right? Like it just eventually it'll come. He just has to keep at it. And I'm bummed he didn't win today. But the one thing people aren't talking about today, I didn't hear any about it. No cheating about Josef Newgarden. Nobody cares.
True.
Nobody cares. Those fans loved it. They absolutely loved it. Crash, I don't know. You were there. It seemed like everybody in the stands was cheering and nobody cared about the cheating scandal because it was such a great finish of the race.
Yep. St. Pete is now in the rearview mirror. Abso-freaking-lutely.
I will say this. Again, I was there for the first 150 laps with our 10-year-old, which it was her first Indy 500, and she was just ecstatic, a little pissed off the old man that we need to get out of there early, so we had to get back and handle some production. But when they introduced Roger Penske there at the start of the race, I was specifically listening for boos, and there were noticeable boos amongst the 300,000. I was there on the front stretch, and you could hear people booing Roger Penske. I mean, it wasn't outlandish, but cheers and boos for Roger Penske as he commanded the start your engines. But getting back to what you said, Richie, when Josef Newgarden won back-to-back 500s and he went up in the crowd, they were chanting Josef Newgarden. I didn't hear any boos on TV. It was as if done. Well, I guess he won this. I guess he won this legitimately. But did any of you notice with Rossi when they interviewed Rossi after the race, there was a pause in Rossi's voice when he said something to the effect of, Josef Newgarden, I just don't know how. Anyway, just something like that. Like Alexander Rossi had was there something there?
He had something against the Penske triumvirate, even in qualifying last weekend, where he said that they irritated him, and he wanted to knock them off the front row. Then, so I would imagine that there's a lot of, we're Team Penske and you're not, and he was anxious to get beyond that and kind of put them in their place. There were the top three cars, or at least the cars that were fighting at the end, all were fast enough to win, and Newgarden was in the right place at the right time and got that win, snatched it out of the hands of Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, essentially, you've got those last 20, 30 laps of which the cream has risen, and you had absolute expert championship drivers in the front. Like you said, Statman, any one of them could have taken this lead. At that point, it kind of does come down to timing and who makes the right moves at the right time. So, and that's exactly what we saw play out here today.
Yeah, and that could have been the hesitation, since O'Ward and Rossi were teammates. It could have been the hesitation. Maybe he was just wanting O'Ward to win, and he didn't. And it was frustrating for him and the Arrow McLaren team.
Freak Nation coming up next. Crasher had a chance to catch up with your back-to-back Indy 500 winner, Josef Newgarden. And again, you'll be blown away at his demeanor. This guy just spent 3 hours on the track in one of the most intense races of his life.
After a 4-hour rain delay. I think it was day first here in the media center.
Quickly.
The 12 hours of Indy was today.
There you go. Josef Newgarden, your 2024 Indy 500 champion, joins us next. Speed Freaks Pitch, Lucas Oil Studios, right here on MAV TV.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included with the activation of a Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Requires in-store activation. Device offer ends 6/9/24. Taxes and fees apply.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAV TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAV TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rockin'. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to WWTRaceway.com now.
Freak Nation, this segment brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to generaltire.com to check out a line of tires to keep all of your rides on the road safe and your family, your cars happy and your family safe. How about that? With the gnarliness, with the rain in Charlotte for the Coke 600, of course, the Indy 500, man, I know a lot of folks rolling out there on those new General Tires. Go to generaltire.com.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at me, man. Look at me, Freak Nation. Coming up this hour, Austin Cindric. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Of course, Cup Series pilot. He'll be joining us here, whose father was suspended. One of the freaking sergeants for Josef Newgarden was suspended due to what happened in St. Pete back in the day. I feel like back in the day. Hell, it feels like it was 2 years ago when that happened. But Austin Cindric, one of the key figures with Penske Racing, he was suspended. But we'll talk to his son, who now runs, of course, in the Cup Series. But also, Statman Scat. Relegation in NASCAR, we'll also talk about that. But Josef Newgarden, your 2024 Indy 500 champion, back-to-back wins for this dude. Crasher caught up with him earlier. He joins us now here in the SpeedFreaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Well, guys, he is now a back-to-back champion, and we talked to this very guy, Josef Newgarden, last year, this location. But at that time, you're scarfing down a burger, having a beer with Marshall Pruitt. Now, have you eaten yet?
I have not eaten. I had a very light lunch too. This was a stressful day. Like you wake up, you have the plan, and then you get delayed 4 hours. But I thought the most amazing part was everyone stayed. I mean, this place was packed. It was still a full crowd. That's Indiana for you. I mean, this place is this event. It's a cultural icon for everybody. It's a religion here. I mean, it is the best. If you're into motorsports, this is the best at the Indy 500. And I'm tired. I'm worn out. The adrenaline has, pumped through me too much, and now I'm ready for bed more than anything. But I'm just thankful for the experience. It's been a great end to a long 3 weeks. It takes a while to get to this point, and to cap it off with this is really gratifying, I think, for the whole team.
You mentioned in the media center how you had so much fun this entire month. You had a solid car. Then your last 60 laps, you were all on offense. Can you explain that to somebody that doesn't really understand racing, just how hard it is to get there, but then how great it is to feel that?
This is a tricky race. There's no guarantees whenever you run it, and you've really got to understand the cadence and the timing. It's one thing to have a great fast car and be up front all day, but you've got to save the fuel. You've got to hit your fuel windows correctly. You don't want to get overcut by people, and then you got to go when it's go time. And when people start to go, if you don't do it at the correct time, you can get overtaken really quickly by a pack, and then all of a sudden you're buried and you can't get back forward. So it's a very tough race to get right. I almost thought I misstepped just before lap 150, and we had to restart basically in 8th position with probably 45 to go. And I thought, well, now we got to do it the hard way. We just got to pass and go forward, and we did that. We had the car to do it. We had an amazing race car. You don't win this race without the best car on the track, and I think we had it, and we drove it to the front. And, for me, the team deserves it with the effort that they put in, the speed they've shown, the execution today. That's what makes the difference.
Tell me how you were shadowing Pato as the closing laps were coming to you, and when you knew to make your move.
Yeah, it was hard to look. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what was right. I was studying, trying to understand who was good where. But more than anything, I was just trying to stay up front.
Wait, for how many laps, though, were you studying other people?
Really, that last stint, 30 laps, you're studying everybody, and you're just trying to see, okay, who's strong here. But for me, I'm just trying to stay in the lead. I'm just trying to stay up front, understand, okay, how's my car work up here? How's it work when someone passes me? And there's not a lot of planning for the final lap. It just, you have to see how it unfolds, and then you got to react. And, I think we reacted in the right way, and Pato's been a tremendous champion. He drove me hard, but he drove me fair. He made it work. You can't do that with everybody, and it worked out. There's no guarantees, but I think you got to leave it all on the, you lay it all on the line and leave this place with no regrets, and I definitely feel that way now.
You have such respect for Pato. He was saying the exact same comments about you before you came in the media center, but that kind of is what the entire top 5 was. I would think you would say the same for Alexander Rossi, Scott Dixon, everybody else up there. Yeah,
tremendous competitors. I mean, I've got great respect for all these guys. Rossi drove an amazing race the entire time. I thought he was really going to be the guy I was duking it out with at the end, and then it ended up being Pato. And same thing with Dixon. I mean, it was an all-star cast up front, I thought, as far as the competitors that I race against. They're all tremendous champions, and they race clean. They race hard, but they race clean. And I think that's why you saw such a great battle at the end. You know, if you're going to have some people you're running against, they were the ones I would want up there.
You seem so refreshed. Not that you weren't last year, but you're just different right now. This is good. Are you really not going to party tonight?
I'm definitely not partying. I partied last year, and I've learned my lesson. There's so much to do after this race, and I want to honor my commitments. I want to champion the sport. I want to champion this great race. I mean, I love this place, and I love IndyCar, and I want it to thrive. So I'm going to try and do that, but I need to make sure I take care of myself for the season. I didn't do that super well last year, so I got a little different game plan.
Are you really going to New York tomorrow? You were just there Thursday.
Yeah, I have to. You know, it's part of the gig, so we're going to celebrate it, but we need to do it in a responsible way and try and be ready for Detroit.
Congratulations. This is just incredible.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
I learned my lesson.
I know. I like that too.
It's out of shape. Sure you are. No. Hey, I misspoke earlier. Austin Cindric's going to join us next hour. Coming up next, Alexander Rossi.
You don't want a Penske-dominated hour?
No. I don't want to go there. Alexander Rossi and Will Power will be joining us next segment. But getting back to Josef Newgarden, Statman, here's a guy that, again, we know his workout regimen. Crasher was talking to him. I'm not going to party. I just won back-to-back Indy 500s. I'm going to go to bed. What? Is this a new Josef Newgarden, Statman?
Who knows? He might be tired. It was stressful. It was hanging out all day, the stress of being there.
Yeah.
But now he knows. Last year he blew a chance for maybe a championship, and maybe it did come from partying too much in late May, and that had effect on a championship in September. But he wants to win, and that's, champion drivers want to win. They want to win championships. He's tasted championship now, and he wants that for himself.
Crasher, what was the vibe with Josef Newgarden? Again, Richie pointed it out that it was like scandal. What?
Yep. Right.
What was the vibe with the media?
I was surprised. Hardly anybody brought it up. It was brought up at the end of his appearance here in the media center. And he said, basically, they were asking about how he has allowed that to affect him this month. And he said, honestly, it was an illuminating experience, something that will either toughen you up or break you. And he, as a person, he said, and them as a team, it made them tougher. It made them bond more. And he even said that this month they reacted and got together better than they ever have in at least his history at Team Penske. So there you go. I guess that's what hardship do.
Yeah, I've been hosting radio and TV shows for 30 years, regardless.
A long time.
Statman was gone, Crash was gone, and Suave was gone, there were 3 other people in your spot. I could handle it, but I would still feel a little off just because speaking of cadence, you just know the cadence. You know when Statman's about to wrap up a sentence, or Crash is about to wants to jump in, or Richie's going to say something millennial. You just know how these guys, how our team works together. I can only imagine with Josef Newgarden going into the biggest race of the year, the biggest race on the planet of the year, not having, and I know he had lead up time without Cindric, his other sergeants around him, but man, it's not lost on me that this guy won himself it was a battle, won himself a race without those familiar faces and voices in his headset throughout the 500.
But again, that speaks to the depth of the personnel with Team Penske. I mean, you're just pulling over from the sports car side, and guess what? Things still work as incredibly well as they did beforehand. It's good people. Surround yourself, as we hear it all the time, surround yourself with good people, you'll have good results. That's exactly Team Penske.
Suave, got about 25, 30 seconds. I was probably doing the same thing you were doing. I was trying to look for just amounts of criticism of Josef Newgarden on X, or as the kids used to call it, Twitter and Instagram. I'm just not seeing it. It's crazy how much it's just gone.
Like I said, I mentioned it in the first segment of the show. Same thing here. I was just blown away. That's just how I thought it was going to be a big story when he won. I was like, oh, the cheater won. nope, nobody cares. It was awesome to see him celebrate with the fans again. And now he's $440,000 richer because he won back-to-back.
Oh, and that's just the bonus money.
Yeah, exactly.
Victory celebration Monday night. He'll get a check of $3.5 million plus. And then, that's the Borg Warner bonus money. Nobody has won back-to-back since Elio Castroneves in 01 and 02. Every year that has gone unclaimed for a back-to-back winner, $20,000 a year. That bonus money, $440,000, cha-ching to Ashley Newgarden.
Freak Nation, Will Power, and Alexander Rossi next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios right here on MAV TV.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say it.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Back Back with Speed Freaks, the website speedfreaks.tv. Be sure you follow us on X, Instagram, of course, Facebook. And again, the website, speedfreaks.tv. In moments, Will Power, Alexander Rossi here in the Freak Nation. And relegation in NASCAR, we'll explain coming up with your stat man Scat. Crasher, you had a chance to catch up with Will Power and Alexander Rossi for Media Day. And again, two of our favorite dudes, Alexander Rossi, chill, not a whole hell of a lot of personality, but with his just slyness, he's got a little bit of personality. But then again, there's Will Power. Holy smokes. We're going to kick it off with Alexander Rossi, who at one time in this race, we thought number 2 is coming to Alexander Rossi for the 500. It's Alexander Rossi right now. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
So, guys, the talk of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is Alexander Rossi's swagger, apparently. I'm going to take it. I knew he'd love that. I'm going to take it in a different direction. You're a married man this year. Your second year into this team, Arrow McLaren. There's a comfort level, though, that is true. To what do you attribute it to?
I think, you nailed it. It's just comfort with the people that you're around, right? You know, last year was a new organization, a new engine manufacturer, a lot of new faces. Not only on my car, but just at the whole team. You know, it was some of the people that are still on the 7 car now, like had never even seen an IndyCar before. Some of them have never seen a race car. So it was a lot of on-the-job learning and training, if you will, and keep in mind.
Hold on, I'm going to stop you there. Does that make you a little nervous, or did it? It's no longer, but did that make you a little nervous?
No, not at all, but still, like, you don't know what you don't know in this sport, right? So, the 500 last year was the 5th race of the season, and so I think a lot of people in the team were still finding their feet, and a year removed from that, we're in a much more cohesive environment, and everyone is just excited to be racing and competing and be at the track. So I think that makes the comfort of everyone at Arrow McLaren better. Pato and I have another year of working together, so it's just everything becomes easier at that point. But I don't think that's necessarily the reason why things go well or bad. It's just we've been fortunate to have good cars this month. Team Chevy's been amazing, and it's just gone really smooth so far.
Yeah, the good cars on the track are one thing, but did I read correctly somewhere that McLaren is actually your favorite street car as well? And why don't you have one yet?
Zach won't give me a discount, so that's why I don't have one yet, Zach, if you're listening. But it's the McLaren Artura is actually their hybrid that they came out with 3 years ago, and it is in every facet blown me away from everything that I thought a supercar should be. So that's not a company PR line, that's real.
Okay, so Zach won't give you a discount. You put your life on the line with this company on the side. I think you should work that into your next contract.
You know what? That's a good idea. We'll start negotiations there.
All right, what have you done in this month? Because again, it is still a month of May, and it just is draining on you guys. But again, you've kept yourself up. I mean, there's this confidence. I can't get away from seeing it in you. Do you golf? Besides turtle races, what else do you do to keep yourself away from the stress of the month?
Nothing. Like, I live in Indy, so I just try and have your normal life. Like, I wake up, I ride my bike, I go to the gym, I just walk my dogs. Like, I just do the things that you would normally do. So much of this sport requires, your 100% attention. The last thing that you obviously want to do when you're away from the track is to think about it too much. So, as you said, got married, so enjoy time at home and just embracing the opportunity to compete in another 500.
Okay, I'm an Indiana girl that lives out west. You're a California guy that now lives in my former hometown. Are you coming back west anytime soon?
No. My mom's there, but other than that, there's nothing for me out there.
You like shoveling snow? I'm just going to put it out there.
It snowed like 0 inches this year, so that's not really a reason to not live in Indy anymore. Yeah.
So you like it because of the racing influence, and your friends are here.
Friends are here, but it's so convenient to everything that we do, right? Like, if you think about the races that our championship goes to, there's only really 3 that are further west than Iowa. So, like, it just, if you live out west, you lose a day. You lose 2 days every single weekend. It just logistically is a bit of a bear. So, the convenience, the people here are amazing. It's hot everywhere in the summer. It's cold a lot of places in the winter, so the weather's not really a factor for me. And as you said, friends here, and I've been here for now 7 years.
Okay, so before we let you go, I want to know what kind of husband you are. Do you take out the trash?
Yes.
Do you empty the dishwasher?
No.
Do you fold laundry?
No.
Do you leave cabinet doors open so your wife hits her head on them?
No.
Do you make coffee in the morning?
Yes.
Ooh, what kind?
Alaska coffee. Yeah.
Future sponsor coming up. All right, do you make
Current.
the... Oh, well, excuse,
Yeah.
shame on me. See, pay attention to press releases. Okay, do you make the bed?
Whoever's out of bed last makes the bed. Like, I can't make the bed with her in it. So, sometimes. But.
Okay, that's a thing, though, at least in our household. Do you let it go more than an hour? Or do you get upset about that?
Well, no. Either of us make it immediately out of waking up, so no.
Oh, wow, we're showing that I am lazy. All right, well, Alex, kick some ass in this year's Indy 500 and the rest of the season, because we're loving this, Alex Rossi.
Will do. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
With one of our all-time faves in the Freak Nation, Will Power, joining us here. Important questions first, though. Does your son, Bo, watch Bluey yet?
No, he does. Yeah, he has, but I think he has, but he doesn't. I saw it the other day. Yeah, no, he's not a big Bluey fan. Yeah, he's big still Elmo, and I mean, he's a funny kid, man. He's a funny kid.
I think it was on qualifying draw day. I saw you walking around with Liz and with Bo. There's just something really cool about you guys just chilling out this month, it seems. You've got it all. You just seem like you're really happy.
Yeah, you know, it's good to have my wife in good health. That's definitely one thing. And it's just your typical, I've been around a long time, so you've been through all this many times, so it's not all new. And but I'm still feeling very anxious, as I always do before the race in these days.
Really? Okay, I was going to get to that. What changes year in and year out, especially post-win, after you won several years ago? Are there different approaches that you take to this massive race?
Yeah, I mean, the approach changes all the time because you keep learning and so on and evolving, but the feeling, the anticipation, the pressure never changes. And you just, not that I'm like crazy anxious, but I just hate waiting. I hate the waiting game for this race. It's such a big event. And I don't know whether it's the pressure of the enormity of the event or it's the danger or it's what it is, but you just have that anxiety.
What does Liz do? What does Bo do to help you relax a little bit those last final hours before getting out there?
They just leave me alone, basically. Yeah, I mean...
Who makes you breakfast on race morning?
Yeah, I think Lizzie does. I can't even remember, but yes, for sure she does. It's just you got to compartmentalize it all and just put yourself in the mind space you need to be in at the time. But I'm looking forward to it in a funny way. But that's, this place. It's not necessarily fun all the time. When the car's not working or in the middle of the pack, it's not necessarily a fun place like you would get at some tracks where it's like, man, this is really fun and technical. This is a very risky track, and I think that's why it's so difficult to win and why it means so much when you do win. Because it's never, you're not, the risk factor, the speed, everything about it, it's hard. It's a hard track, and it's just an enormous thing to win.
Give me a fun track, or a track where you walk in, whether it's under the tunnel or wherever, and you're like, this is going to be a good weekend.
I'm not sure we ever... No, yeah, but a lot of races I do. I walk in. Long Beach is one. I love that. I love that track. Can't wait to get out there. I mean, all the road and street courses are fun. Most ovals are fun, like Iowa. This is like high intense. Like 2 days of qualifying, very stressful. Very stressful. And I had a good car. So it's just, that's this place, right? It's not necessarily meant to be fun. It's meant to be, it's meant to be hard to win. It's meant to be a hard place. It's in a funny way, it's easy because you can go wide open with downforce. But once you get caught out, it's such a big crash. Like, it's in some ways easy, but just difficult because it's easy, because it's that fine line. It's easy till it's not, it suddenly falls over that edge, and then it's not easy.
What you're saying right there, you are basically running 200 laps constantly on riding that wire. Yes. It's a mental game.
Yes, you're just riding a wire. There's not really much you can do, and that's what I mean, like easy. It's like, you just sit on that wire, step over a bit, and, it's a big problem. big problem that you rarely catch.
But then that's why the good drivers like you know how to catch it. Real quick, before we let you go, racing for Liz. I love hearing that she's in good health. This one's for her, huh?
Oh yeah, that'll be a big deal if we win. Man, victory lane will be something else, you know.
Yep, Will Power here in the Freak Nation. Statman Scat coming up next. Relegation in NASCAR. Will that keep it interesting? We'll explain. It's all coming up. Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to WWTRaceway.com now.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
I had a couple tech seminars this week, one with an engineer who's forgotten more than I'll ever know about motorsport. but I've come away with a deeper belief that NASCAR needs to adopt some form of relegation between its Xfinity and Cup Racing series. In short, I think teams should earn their way into Cup. It would cut the fields and probably allow for shorter races and a better television show. There'd be greater meaning to competition on the track and points in the standings. And it would increase the value of an Xfinity position with larger names on the grid in that series. Thinking out loud, maybe even the Truck Series should be part of the relegation. No one should be able to buy their way into the highest levels of American motorsport. At some point, a competitor and team need to prove they deserve to be where they are. Relegation and cost caps would increase the value of NASCAR charter programs, the races and TV shows would be better, and investors might find a better return on their investments. The bulk of the earnings in NASCAR might find its way to the grid where it belongs. Peace.
Freak Nation, your Statman Scat, and relegation coming to NASCAR. And when I think of relegation, Statman, which, by the way, Crasher is at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it just went dark. They've got another lightning storm. So now it's the three of us as Crash is there in the dark. We'll bring her back in once they get electricity and they can turn the lights back on. Only with the Freak Nation, right, Stat?
That's crazy. Yeah, we were sitting here watching it, and all of a sudden, poof, she's gone. It's like, whoa, what happened?
Well, that's how we roll, man. Go ahead, Richie. Go back what you had up there. If you listen to Statman Scat, relegation is something that I'm quite familiar with, given the fact that I follow the EPL, European. Gosh, dang! I'm sorry, man. It's a gnarly day.
English Premier League.
English Premier League. Thank you.
Yes.
And there's relegation where you have the top tier league, and then you have all these other tiers below it where you work your way up to hopefully to the Premier League. And that's what Statman's insinuating here. Tell me if I'm wrong, Statman, but that's what I'm gathering from you, similar to what we see with inside the English Premier League.
That's exactly it. I always referred to the whole system as relegation, but it's actually relegation and promotion. That you can get promoted. Let's say if you were in the Truck Series, you get enough points, then you get promoted to the Xfinity Series. You get enough points, then you go to Cup Series. And after a while, if you don't maintain your points in the Cup Series, you can get relegated back to Xfinity. And that you'd have, like I said, you'd have smaller fields, better races, a better TV show for all of the series, Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks. So I think, and it would add value to what they're trying to do. The teams are trying to get some more money out of the deal, add more value to the charters that they're giving.
Do you think you run into issues, Statman? Well, I bring this up because I think you would run into issues with the sponsorship. If you're getting $5 million from Dollar General to be on the side of a car, but you get relegated down to Xfinity or whatever the tier is below Cup.
Yeah, I think there would be. I think there'd be a problem. I think there'd be a problem just because it's different. But I think it would be a problem that people want to see. But I think that's the problem with NASCAR, that some people are out there just to finish the races. They used to call it start and park guys, but now they're just guys that just run around at the back of the field and they just fill up the race. And they, if they run into somebody, they might take out a front runner. So I think the entire thing needs to be rethought. And I think that sponsors would like to see more competition and better racing. And most of all, they'd want to see a better TV show. I think that TV show in IndyCar, they spent 5 minutes this morning talking about something that they needed to explain, the tires and the points, and they were just throwing out terms that had nothing to do with the average listener that's going to tune in to watch the Indy 500. You can't assume that people know what you're talking about.
Precisely something that Zach Brown has said needs to change in the TV package, whatever the TV package may be moving forward. But yeah, on this whole relegation topic, I think it is fascinating. And without question, it would improve the TV product in NASCAR and it would increase competition. I mean, okay, yes, sponsorships will, that's a fine line to ride on. But guess what? Do your job, whether it's engineering or mechanical, do your job so that you are not relegated or so that you can stay up in the top tier of your motorsport. I think it's fascinating. And I'm so excited that you brought that up because it's only something that could make the product better.
But Richie, I want to bring you into this. Here's the problem that I have with it, and this is where the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA try to curtail. They try and bring the parity to the league, is where they have these salary caps. You've got the Dodgers and other teams that just blow those salary caps out of the water and just pay the fines, pay the fees that come with those busted salary caps. But maybe bring the salary cap down. Maybe try and meet a Roger Penske or a Joe Gibbs type tier down to a Spire Motorsports and bring it somewhere in the middle to where these teams are a little more equal, to where we know that there's a shot for those MOR, middle of the road teams, those backmarker teams have a shot to win a race.
It's happened before. It's happened before in NASCAR. Don't even have to think back that long. What is it, 5-6 years ago? Martin Truex Jr. won with Furniture Rear Racing.
Yep.
You know what happened to them? Gone. They no longer exist, and they were a championship level team with Martin Truex Jr.
You know what happened in Formula One? They had double tiers, and for a while McLaren used to be very good, but they were a mid-pack team. What happened was that they had cost caps, and suddenly they weren't able. Man, I wish I could share the conversation I had with an engineer, because we talked exactly about this. He was saying that the money that they're spending got so crazy that, let's say they had 3 millimeters for the thickness of the skin, and then the 2.99 millimeters, they changed it so that the aero would be better. That all of that money went away, and that evidently Mercedes is not able to spin that down. McLaren has been able to meet it, and they jumped from the mid-pack to the front of the pack. If NASCAR would do the same thing, but you wouldn't have the same people winning all the time. The racing would be better, the TV show would be better, and you could have relegation and promotion up and down between the series.
I think NASCAR has done it, again, comparatively speaking, when we started Speed Freaks almost 24 years ago, NASCAR over the last 5-6 years done a hell of a job to take several steps forward in progression. And it's a catchy, it's a word that some people don't like, but when they become progressive compared to what they have been in the past. I don't know if NASCAR has it in to be that progressive, to look so far down the line, whether it's establishing a salary, but you've got to get, there's something there that Stat's talking about, but how quick can you get there to establish this?
You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results.
Right.
Definition of insanity.
Yeah, and I don't feel for other teams that when you hear guys like Denny Hamlin and 2311 talking about losing money, when you talk about when Michael Jordan comes out and says this business model isn't working for us, we've got to figure something out, whether it's a revenue share or the charter system, whatever it is, something's got to change in order for these teams, and again, teams that are winning too, that are bitching and moaning about some of these cost issues. I'm not sure.
The timing that you're bringing all this up is interesting, because come Tuesday, we're going to hear more insight as to Stewart Haas Racing, why their shop's up for sale, and arguably why they're going to be out of the NASCAR Cup Series next year. So yes, it all ties together.
Freak Nation, as I said, as we started to record this show, the Coke 600 was on a lightning delay, and we just got word. Congratulations, Christopher Bell. He got himself a Coke 600 win. And Richie, thanks for the reminder. We haven't said a damn thing about Kyle Larson the first 50 minutes of this show. That's how fantastic that finish was.
Biggest story in motorsports all year, and we don't mention them until the first hour's nearly done.
Okay. We got plenty of Kyle Larson conversation and the significance of his place in the Indy 500. It's all coming at Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Do you have an idea for a book? Fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
Please hang up and try again.
Live on the Freak Radio Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, second hour Speed Freaks on MAV TV and, of course, the Freak Radio Network. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Congratulations to Christopher Bell as he won the rain, lightning, delayed, canceled, postponed, I'm out of here, Coke 600. The pomp and circumstance. Okay. Reset. Second hour Freak Nation. Coming up,
Wow.
we have Austin Cindric, NASCAR Cup Series pilot. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Also, Frederick Aasbo, the winningest Formula Drift driver on the planet. He'll be here. 3-time FD champion, by the way. He'll be here this hour. And Graham Rahal will be joining us this hour. Last hour, we had your Indy 500 winner, Josef Newgarden. He was in here. Will Power, Alexander Rossi, talking about that fantastic finish where Pato O'Ward got out just a little bit too early. Josef Newgarden took advantage of that not rookie mistake and won himself his back-to-back Indy 500s. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, the website speedfreaks.tv. And something funny that we did the first hour, we didn't say a damn thing about Kyle Larson when he was the most epic story going into this race. It was minutes up into the start of the 500 that is Kyle Larson going to race? Is he going to go? What's going on? He was just the epitome of motorsports for anybody, even people outside of motorsports. Is Kyle Larson, is he going to run? Is he not going to run? Rain delay, 4 hours. And we didn't say a damn thing about it the first hour until Richie texted us.
4-hour rain delay. We only had a 1 hour delay in getting him on the show. We're better off than IndyCar.
And he did a damn good job today, too. Had he not been busted for speeding in pit lane, who knows where today could have gone for him. But he'll be back next year. So remember, it's a 2-year deal. It's a 2-year deal. And he was asked if he's coming back. Oh, high balloons. He was asked if he's coming back next year. And he said, I really would like to come back. So we shall see where that all plays out. Talking about the Indy 500, of course, and doing the double again.
Richie, you and Stad had a chance to watch the majority of the race from your couch or whatever the hell you were watching it from. I was there at the race outdoors with a 10-year-old enjoying ourselves. Crasher, you were doing the same dang thing by yourself there at the track. What was a lot of the commentary from Townsend Bell, James Hinchcliffe, and Lee Diffie about how well Kyle Larson was doing up until that penalty and had to drive through the pits?
Go ahead, Sam. I'll let you take it.
Well, they were praising him because he did a good job. Whoever was in his ear, he started off the first restart that came early. Apparently, he grabbed the wrong gear, spun some tires. 11 cars got around him before he got straightened out. And
I wondered what happened there. Okay.
The front, and he stayed back in the back. Reminded me of the Kurt Busch race a few years ago. And they were kind of talking the same thing. Every time they would mention Kyle Larson, they were saying he's learning a lot. He's having a problem on the restarts, which he was. And they were waiting for something to happen, and he made the mistake. And anybody can make a mistake of speeding on pit row, and he got dinged for it. In fact, I thought when we were talking to Will Power earlier, what took out Will Power, he got a little high on the track, got in some marbles and spun and was out of the race. I thought that was going to happen to Larson, but Larson had more discipline I gave him credit for, and he stayed in the back. He stayed in the top 10, like 8 to 11, most of the race, and that's where the reporters, the announcers, kept talking about him. He's learning, and he needs to get to the end so that he could take this away with him.
Yeah, he's a very good study, a very good student of the sport, and how he could just ingest the information that his team was giving him and then immediately apply it and then adjust it as necessary. Yeah, he is one of the great drivers out there.
Richie?
Yeah, I thought Kyle did great, and I think it was unfortunate. It did take a little bit out of steam out of the last 50 or so laps of the race when he wasn't racing up front. But with that said, the end of the race was still terrific, and yeah, I really want to see Kyle do it again. I cannot wait to see him try it again after what he learned. He was probably going to finish in the top 5 if he ended up racing all 200 laps and up front, if he didn't speed on pit road there. And I think we should give him enough kudos. Not very many drivers have, like him, going cross sports, have finished all 500 miles on the lead lap of the Indianapolis 500, like he did today, despite making the mistakes that he did. And that was really impressive. Heck, Jimmy Johnson, 7-time NASCAR champion, the one time he ran the Indianapolis 500, did not finish the race. Kyle Larson did. And it was delayed by 4 hours. Oh, yeah, and he was supposed to go to Charlotte afterwards as well. So impressive stuff. I hope we see him again next season, and I hope we see Kyle Busch as well next season. I know he's teased it. Richard Childress seemingly is on board with maybe making that happen. So getting 2 NASCAR drivers to do it next year, try the double next year, would be impressive. So, Rain, please stay away next year, please.
Yes.
We talk about the popularity of Kyle Larson, and granted, our daughter lives our lives. She's a 10-year-old. She's not a motorhead like Crash and her dad, but she likes motorsports. She follows motorsports. She's forced to from time to time, but she's a Kyle Larson fan, and the popularity of Kyle Larson. We were standing above Gasoline Alley on one of the bridges there, watching the race quite a bit of the time, and she kept following the number 17, right, Crasher?
Oh, without question.
It's number 17 for Kyle Larson in IndyCar. And what Statman, when you're talking about where he missed the gears and spun on that restart, Dad, what happened to Kyle Larson? What happened? Because she's right there in front of the podium, or not the podium,
pylon.
The pylon. She sees it go. She sees the 17 fall. She goes, "What happened to Kyle Larson?" I'm just going, "Where is this coming from, man?" She's scared to death being that close to the track. Where's Kyle Larson? And you know that Nielsen has the rating system. Once Kyle Larson, I'll be curious, Swabby, once Kyle Larson had that drive-through and fell out of contention, I'll be curious to see if the TVs went, click. Let's go watch freaking season 3 of The Masked Singer.
The one thing that I thought would be a problem for Larson is what I was saying all along, is that once everybody gets on the track, he doesn't know what the racecraft is. And he learned very fast, and he worked his way back up, and he was running, like I said, 8 to 11. And he had a problem getting into the pits once or twice, but yeah, he learned a lot. And I think that'll be valuable for him as his career goes forward, because he drives about anything with 4 wheels, probably shopping carts as well.
Now that I would pay to see.
If you've ever seen an IndyCar race live, you forget how fast and how quick these cars are. And I can't say I had empathy for Kyle Larson, but you kind of get inside his head, think, this guy's, like Stat just said, this guy's not run an IndyCar amongst, 32 other cars before. Yet he goes out there and kicks some ass. Going into the race, you think, gosh, let's just get back in one piece. Kyle Larson, let's don't have any issues. Don't ding it to turn 1 or coming out of 2. No, this guy kicks some freaking butt. The turbulence, the madness that is an IndyCar at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yeah, Will Power referred to it as it is a simple race in that you can go wide open and you run with downforce. But when you're on the track with 32 other cars going 220 miles an hour plus, I don't care who you are, Kyle Larson or freaking Tom Dan Brady. It's like, okay, Tom, you know what? You're going to have 16 guys rushing you. Let's see you get through that.
Yeah, right.
It's kudos.
Yeah, the minute that your mental game is just even the slightest bit of askew, that's when the mistakes happen. And it's interesting that Will Power was talking to us about that in the interview that we did with him a couple days ago, because then that ended up being something that did happen with him today. Just the slightest bit of being off, boom, into the wall.
And so many winners talk about luck instead of not speed. And there was an instance where he made a mistake. He was unlucky, and they caught him. I don't know if he was going 90 in a 60 or 62 in a 60, but he made a mistake, and that cost him. He bumped him out of the top 6 or 7 in the race, and that cost him. He did lead, I think, 4 laps before he went in for his last pit stop. But yeah, it was impressive what he did. And I think he impressed the announcers even more so than them just trying to sell IndyCar.
Another real quick anecdote was our daughter Henley. Graham Rahal, he could actually win this race. Where does this come from? Where did she pick this stuff up?
Where does this come from? Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you asking that question?
Oh man, I had fun hanging with a 10-year-old that's never been to the Indy 500. Austin Cindric finished 20th in the Coke 600. We talked to him before the 600, and we kick it off talking about his old man, Tim Cindric, the sergeant at arms for Josef Newgarden. Austin Cindric, he joins us next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included with the activation of a Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Requires in-store activation. Device offer ends 6/9/24. Taxes and fees apply.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Freak Nation, Austin Cindric joining us here in the Lucas Oil Studio, Speed Freaks Pits. And Austin, let's get the first question out of the way of importance. Crasher's sister went to school with your dad, Tim Cindric. Is it true that he was a nerd in high school. Tim
Did
Cindric,
not say that.
Austin Cindric.
Can you be a nerd and not get good grades? Because he ended up going to Rolls-Holman, which I guess qualifies you maybe as a nerd, but it's only because he was good at basketball, from what I understand.
And Pike had a great basketball team, so there it is.
Well, it's bananas how the Cindric family is strangely intertwined with Crasher's family, born and raised in Indianapolis and tied in with Indianapolis Motor Speedway and watching your dad grow up. And is there a time limit on how much you can talk to your dad right now? I mean, is there a penalty against you?
No, quite the opposite. Having him home in the month of May is definitely odd, and obviously not under the best of circumstances. But certainly a different month for sure.
You know what? Let's talk about that a little bit before we move on, because we're human. And I would find it hard to believe if the scandal going on with your sister team, the IndyCar team, how that didn't affect you. That's part of it had to do with your father. How did that affect you when it came to race weekends, knowing, oh my gosh, this is driving me nuts?
I'm not sure it really affected me at all, to be 100% honest. I mean, they've obviously, had the investigation with the series and internal investigation within the team, and laid it all out there, and whatever conclusions you draw from there past what was right and what was wrong, it's kind of just up for whoever, and let the dust settle, or let people are going to have opinions or decisions based off of the information that's provided. So past that, I don't think it necessarily affects me much at all, other than I enjoy watching IndyCar races. That's really the only thing that changes it. I've been an IndyCar fan my entire life, and I think it's from my race fan side of me, it maybe affects me a little bit.
Proving once again, Austin Cindric, how he is a very good race car driver, because you are good at compartmentalizing things and leaving personal here and putting business over here. Austin Cindric, 2022 Daytona 500 winner, joining us, Speed Freaks, on a Sunday night. Can you tell us how NASCAR became your path instead of IndyCar, since you just brought that up, how you watched IndyCar growing up?
Yeah, I think for me, fairly early on, knowing that becoming a race car driver is not going to be an easy path, and being exposed to quite a few different types of racing, whether if that was, with the ALMS series, we had the R Spiders, and obviously I've been around IndyCar racing since before I could walk, and when I moved to North Carolina, being around kind of the NASCAR side of things for the first time. For me, it was never about what I was driving. It was as long as I was driving. Like, beggars can't be choosy. If you want to be a race car driver, like, I will drive anything. And that's kind of what my career has really been about, whether if it's open wheel cars, stock cars, sports cars, endurance racing, rally cars, really whatever I could get my hands on for the longest time. And it's just going where the opportunities are. And I would say I didn't really have even to this day, I don't even know if I'm necessarily defined by anything. Like, you got guys these guys are short track guys. These guys are, dirt guys. These guys are road racers. Like, the NASCAR guys think of me as a road racer. The IMSA guys think of me as the NASCAR driver. Like, I'm kind of just a mutt in a lot of ways. And I kind of like it that way, honestly, because I really just want to be a race car driver, and NASCAR is obviously, the top level from North American racing. It doesn't really get any bigger, week to week for us. So to have the opportunities I've had with Ford early on in my career, and that's kind of dovetailed into really all of my stock car opportunities, have all been with Ford. So I think that's kind of how I got my foot in the door in a lot of ways. And it's kind of just, continually built and taking advantage of those opportunities to get to the cup level.
Okay, well then, Mr. Mutt, it's a hot topic right now. When are you going to do the double? You know you can do it. I know you could get in an IndyCar and do just like what Kyle Larson is doing.
I'd certainly like to. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's within the next year or so, right? I think watching Kyle do it this year, really lays the groundwork for someone like myself who's on this cup schedule every week of how it would be possible. I certainly focused on my career in NASCAR right now, but you definitely can't hide my passion for that race. And I'd love to be able to do that race. And at the same time, I'd love to put myself in the category of guys who've won the Daytona 500 and have won the Indy 500. I mean, that's big stuff. So, I mean, I love the thought of it, but a lot of hard work to get to that point. And for me, it's got to be the right opportunity and the right timing, in my career. And right now, like I said, I'm pretty focused on what I'm doing in NASCAR.
Austin Cindric, man, I talked to you when you were a young teenager in the Global Rallycross Championship. You said you like driving everything. How did Global Rallycross, or how did Rallycross fall by the wayside as you started climbing the ladder?
Yeah, like I said, I kind of went where the opportunities went. I had actually a few good opportunities to kind of move up to the top level in Rallycross, and it's struggled. The sport itself, Rallycross, has kind of struggled to kind of get a foothold, in the U.S. since the GRC days. It's kind of redefining its identity with, they got Nitrocross now. I did one of those events, at the end of 2022 with they're all electric cars, FC1, awesome cars. Travis Pastrana's gotten involved and really been able to build some super gnarly racetracks that almost, like, some of them mimic supercross tracks more than racetracks. But it's something that I absolutely loved doing. Like I said, it's just kind of going where the opportunities have taken me. And, I feel like it's unfortunately, it doesn't have enough of an identity right now in the US. Like, I think it's an awesome form of racing. It's, it doesn't require a high attention span to get into it. Everyone you take it, I mean, there's cars flying through the air, going through the dirt, standing starts. I mean, it's just a ton of action in a short amount of time. And I think there's a way to make it work. And I'm definitely a believer in it, and would love to see, what they're doing right now with Nitrocross continue to grow.
Wow. Austin, I'm impressed that you even know that Rallycross is still going on. I just leaped up about 50 spots on my driver's game. Well done. You won a bronze medal in the X Games. Where's that medal now? Is that on that shelf behind you, or has that fallen by the wayside in your?
It's definitely not fallen by the wayside. That was actually my first Rallycross race. And obviously cool to get an X Games medal. That was the last year they had the lights cars do it. And I still have it. They gave me a guitar, and then the medal itself is a belt buckle because it was in Austin, Texas. So I've worn that a few times just at the appropriate occasions, but it's definitely one of the cooler things that I have, no doubt.
Austin Cindric joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Austin, I don't think anybody wears a bow tie better than you under 30. So it's always fantastic when you roll that thing out for the TV coverage. You had the Coca-Cola 600, a long race. Then you move over, of course, to Worldwide Technology Raceway. As soon as Monday flops in, do you change your mindset, or as soon as you get off the track? When do you start preparing for Worldwide Technology Raceway or other tracks after a race?
That's a great question, and it's a very specific event that changes my mindset from race to race. We have our Monday meetings, post race every week, and whether if that's with just a 2-car, some specific members of my team, or obviously the entire group with my teammates and kind of administration and kind of engineering group. We kind of debrief that, and then from there I go do a workout in the facility at Penske, and it's usually about halfway through my workout, I'm over it. Whatever's happened, good or bad, I'm over it. And the times that I haven't done my workout, I don't get over it. So I'm a big believer in the gym being able to separate mind and body. That's usually when it happens, about every week. But I think it's important because we only have really 2 days to get prepared. At least the team does, for us. And this month of June is actually going to be a really difficult time for our truck drivers, with having to go out to St. Louis and back, and Iowa and back, and then Sonoma and back. That's a lot of traveling, and the team has to have the car together in well enough time for them to be able to do that, whether if that's, being done on Tuesday or being done on Wednesday. And with the way our practices work, we have to have all of our decisions made for our race cars, minus, some bar changes or, some shock clicks or some ride height. Like we have all those decisions made for the next week already, by Wednesday at the absolute latest. So if you're not switched over by Tuesday, you're behind in my mind.
Freak Nation, you can catch Austin Cindric and all of his compadres at Worldwide Technology Raceway coming up next weekend. Buddy, thanks for doing this, man. Good luck to you for the rest of the season, all right?
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
Austin Cindric, one of those drivers you want to see win a championship, right? Coming up, Graham Rahal. Speaking of dudes winning championships, Graham Rahal, he's coming up here in the Freak Nation. But first, we're going to get to Frederick Aasbo, 3-time Formula Drift champion, the winningest driver in Formula D, recently won at Atlanta. He's going to be joining us next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. 800-273-7075. That's 800-273-7075.
Next to your vehicle's engine, your transmission is the most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to www.raceway.com now.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio redefined.
Freak Nation, this guy's got more wins in Formula D, Formula Drift, as the kids call it, than anybody else on the planet. Numerous Formula Drift champion, Frederick Aasbo, joining us here in the Freak Nation. Is big win in Atlanta. I got to say, Long Beach, you didn't really crap the bed, but you kind of crapped the bed, but you made up for it in Atlanta. But one thing what drove me nuts about Atlanta were the freaking gremlins in the cars out of the gate. It's like, what was going on with all the issues with the cars and the timeouts? Where was the problem initially?
It's all in the script. This isn't judged. It's all scripted, obviously. We're running these cars hard. We're literally trying to break them. And sometimes we succeed. And that's what happened to us in Atlanta leading up to the actual competition rounds. And it happened to a lot of other people as well.
Frederick Aasbo joining us here in the Freak Nation. And we cover all the sports, NASCAR, IndyCar, Supercross, NHRA, and most of those series have many, many crew members and crew chiefs and tech guy this, tech guy that. But with you guys running these engines, these cars so hard, and you take it back to your pits, I don't see 20 dudes in there. I see most of the drivers getting their face in there as well.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the fun of Formula Drift and being a driver and a team owner, I would imagine, with you and Steph.
Absolutely. And, we're, like you said, we're a tight-knit group. Stefan Papadakis, coming from his import drag racing days, he knows a thing or two about building successful racing engines. And I think it's a testament to technology as well. It's pretty easy nowadays to build a 1,000 horsepower motor. And there's certainly a lot of them in FD. And because there is no engine regulation, the rule book literally says open when it comes to your choice of power plant. It also means that everything's not on the ragged edge. And it's kind of crazy to say that about a 1,300 horsepower motor, that it's not on the ragged edge, but that's the fact. And even though, we're sitting on a rev limiters, there's a lot of great components out there that have trickled down from, let's say, the pro stock, or, all the groundwork is done in other forms of racing, and we're putting it to the test going sideways in Formula Drift.
Just you saying that there's no rule book. There are engineers salivating from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA. They're like, wait a minute. That's Christmas time for all of them. So yeah, you just, who knows, maybe the employee book has just opened up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And please come on over to the dark side. There's already a lot of skills and knowledge and know-how trickling down into drifting. We got, IndyCar, ex-IndyCar engineers, we got, the 4 teams running Roush Yates motors. We are obviously running the Supra power plant that comes out of the Supra, the B58. And there, even though the rule book is open and no rules when it comes to motors, there's still a lot of rules governing the suspension and tires, especially. So the sort of performance equalizer would be the tires, and we're trying to extract every little bit of grip out of the tires, which I think may surprise some of the people that think that drifting is just about skidding around in the McDonald's parking lot.
No, I mean, just watch any of these events on MAV TV, people. You will be blown away, or live on social media, anywhere. We're talking to Frederick Aasbo. Of course, he is the winner, the Formula Drift winner from Road Atlanta. He is 3rd in points now overall. You mentioned Road Atlanta is just absolutely one of your favorite tracks. What is it? It's a road course. You do other road courses. What is it about Road Atlanta that makes it stick out for you and your team?
I mean, aside of the Southern hospitality and the spectacle that happens there, I mean, we got fans back in their pickup trucks and shooting drinks and shotguns into the night. It's a wild scene. Aside of that, the track sort of reminds me of my humble beginnings here in Europe. I grew up in Norway, the deep forests of Norway, and that sort of green, lush traditional racetrack feel of Road Atlanta, where it's often the fastest car and the fastest line that will win. That really speaks to my go-karting background. So it's drifting is a lot of things to a lot of different people, and you can come from the lifestyle side of it into pro drifting, but you can also come from the traditional racing side into it, like I did. And I think that's why it feels like home to me.
Frederick Aasbo was a champion in Norway and Europe before he came to America. And I keep thinking that you've seen the sport change. And in fact, Formula Drift had a part to play in changing drifting globally. Have you seen that? And how do you like that? Drifting is different now than it was when you first got here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, well observed, because drifting obviously started in Japan, and that's where most of us that are now have been there since at least sort of the beginning. I was still a young kid back then, but I looked to Japan and I saw what they did there. And then I also saw how it blew up when it got to the States. It's basically an imported sport in the United States, and coming from Europe, we always look up to what happens overseas and how the American culture will take something and make it the best that it can be. And I think that's the case with Formula Drift. It's now a huge spectacle. It is ranked as the #1 series globally, even though there's still great series in Japan, still great series in Europe, in China, elsewhere. The US is where everybody wants to go to compete. And I've seen it sort of come from the Japanese mindset to where the American manufacturers came in, started building their own cars and making an extreme in their sense. And now it's sort of a mix where Japanese culture is coming back in. We got a Japanese judge, fantastic Japanese drivers still in the sport. And now European drift royalty, like the Irish, they really, the Irish is to drifting the way that Hawaiians is to surfing. And it really is sort of this global work in progress fusion sport that we're still trying to figure out.
Frederick Aasbo, I was going to sneak in another question here, but you slammed it right on the table. You mentioned the Irish. James Dean won 3 championships in a row, stepped aside for a while, and now he's back leading the points right now. You've got 3 championships since you've been here in the United States. Who's going to get the 4th?
Who's going to get the 4th? Very good question. It's pretty clear that we're all fighting for it. There's actually Chris Forsberg as well with 3 championships, and we all have a chance this year. But James is on a tier, and I think he's widely regarded as the most complete drifter globally. Won a lot. He's like you said, he got 3 in a row in the US. Didn't have a great season last year, and he's definitely on a redemption tour this year. But so are we. We came off of two championships there in 21, 22. It all fell apart a little bit the last 2 rounds last year, but James and I are friends, and we speak. We definitely look at drifting the same, and we had a great time after everything was said and done in Atlanta. But when we're up there, lined up next to each other, there's no denying that you can't. The humbleness is far gone at that point, and it's going to be a dogfight for the rest of the season.
So tell me what happens at Irwindale, the final event of the season. You and James are in the finals for the championships on the line. Winning the event is on the line. There's 15, 20,000 people screaming on the line. Who's going to come away with the title, dude?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's just another practice run.
Oh, come on. I'm tired of all these names. Can you just tell them to kiss your ass?
Yes.
Just tell Forsberg and they to kiss your ass. You can do that, brother.
It's not how you stand by your car, it's how you race your car, right? And I like to let my driving do the talking. And we won at Irwindale before, so has James. And we all know that it's not necessarily about what happens during those 30 seconds. It's about the lead up and how you prep and your confidence and your, whatever you're bringing to that fight.
It's madness. Awesome. Freak Nation can catch him next May 31st, June 1st on MAV TV coming out of Orlando, Florida. His name is Frederick Aasbo, joining us here in the Freak Nation. Again, 3-time FD champion, more wins than anybody on the planet when it comes to Formula Drift. This has been fun, dude. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
He's the Dominator, Frederick Aasbo, here in the Freak Nation. Coming up, Crasher had a chance to catch up with Graham Rahal prior to the Indy 500. Graham Rahal, who was running up front, at least top 10, top 5 at one time, could he have grabbed that Indy 500 win finally? I didn't. But Crasher spent some good time with Graham Rahal, and we'll catch up with him. It's coming up next. Speed Freaks Pits and, of course, the Lucas Oil Studios right here on MAV TV.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to WWTRaceway.com now.
Do you have an idea for a book? Fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
In just a couple, Graham Rahal will be here in the Freak Nation. This segment brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com to Check out a line of products to keep all of your rides snappy and happy. 2 wheels, 4 wheels, your boat. I know your boat's out in the lake now, man. It's Memorial Day weekend, babe. Make sure you're rolling on that Lucas Oil Marine products. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com. Crasher, as I said last segment, there was a time where Graham Rahal was running up front, top 10, I think it was. I mean, Connor Daly, the laps that he led with his pit stop strategy, but Graham Rahal, when a 10-year-old goes, Graham Rahal could actually win this race. He's another one of those guys, Crasher, that you just want him to win, not necessarily a championship, you want him to win the biggest race of his life, something his dad, Bobby Rahal's done.
Yes, and he has been very good here for many, many years. These last 2 years haven't been necessarily ones to write home about, but today, yes, there was a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
He pulled some things out of his butt today, that's for sure.
Okay, that's how we roll here in the Freak Nation. Just put it out there. Crash had a chance to catch up with Graham Rahal prior to Indianapolis 500. It's called Media Day. It's always fantastic when Graham rolls here in the Freak Nation.
Anyone in this entire facility of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has a whack schedule. It's this guy right here, Graham Rahal. He's got a performance shop. He does cars and coffees. He's got his new shop up in Indianapolis. And then, oh yeah, let's throw a golf tournament into this. Do you sleep?
I try my best. Right now, I won't lie, right now there's a lot happening. And obviously May hasn't really gone the way that we want, so that makes everything a little trickier than we like. But yeah, I mean, I try. But I was telling somebody last night, I can't remember who else, but I'm just not the type that wants to sit around anyway. So, a lot of drivers, I think that when the day comes to a close, it's like, oh, thank God, whatever. For me, it's like, okay, so now what can I do? Like, what's the next thing? And sometimes I wish I wasn't like that. I'm not gonna lie about that either. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, why can't I just chill? Like, why can't I just stop thinking about work and everything else? But it's just the way that I'm drawn up, I guess. I don't know.
And then you married into a family, of course, with drag racing. They are the same way. You guys are just go-getters, and you're passing it down to your kids.
Trying. If we could do one thing, that's our goal for sure. Courtney and I keep extremely busy. Court's done a wonderful job with our girls, because I'm gone so much, which isn't fun. I wish I had a lot more time with the girls, a lot more quality time than I get. Because right now, with all the projects and things we got going on, I mean, I'm in a million different spots at once, and that's not a whole lot of fun for Courtney. It's not fun for the girls or me. So, but we're trying, and certainly trying to get them involved today. They were at the charity golf outing, both of them, and my oldest, she's 3.5, but we had her announcing stuff through the microphone, and just getting her involved, and she loved it.
Okay, I've heard you say, though, you like driving. When are you guys going to be a motorhome family? And then they can come with you to these things, and you can be behind the wheel.
We're already there. We're there. I have driven both of them in the motorhome to places, but we are in the motorhome a lot together, and with our dogs, too. We've got 2 Alaskan Malamutes. They're big boys in the bus. But, yeah, we're together a ton, so... They definitely are girls. If I could say one thing that I think that we did right from the beginning was they always went everywhere with us. Always. From 3 weeks on, they were at dinners, they were going to do stuff. And so now it's all second nature, to them. They've been traveling and, living on the road in the bus, going to all the races, doing all those things. And, and frankly, a lot of drivers leave their kids at home because it's can be a distraction. That is true. That on a Saturday night, the last thing you want to be thinking about, is as I had a barber, my 1-year-old or my 3-year-old wakes up at 2 a.m. with 104 fever, on race morning. Like, that's not exactly like what you want to be thinking about. But for me and for Courtney, like, we've always done it that way. And the girls are such a part of what we do and where we go and everything else that, certainly wouldn't want to change it.
Do you have a nanny, or is it the 2 of you?
It's just 2 of us right now. I feel like I need to look at a nanny to help her because Courtney's quality of life, if you ask her, she'd say it's fine, but the reality is all she does is take care of those kids.
Does she ever say, I'm getting back in the cockpit?
I think on the weakest days, maybe, the frustration builds, but not much. I mean, but for sure, like, how it is as a mom. Like, you need to have your quality of life too. Like, you've got to be able to get away. And the hardest thing that we have is when we go racetrack to racetrack to racetrack, as we are right now, and we will be for the foreseeable future. I'm out. Like I'm in the bus, out of the bus. I'm doing stuff. And it's her, unfortunately, kind of left to deal with the mess. So hopefully soon we can get her a break.
Her and the community. It takes a village, which is kind of cool. Before I let you go, I want to talk about your Moto America team. When did this come about, and how did you find Ben Spies? He's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's been a while. We've been working on this for a few years. But the Ben part came through Wayne, maybe 9 or 10 months ago. He said, hey, you should call Ben because he's starting to itch a little bit about getting back involved. And so we did, and he's been a huge asset for us. He's been able to close the gap on a lot of things that were needed. His connections and relationships from his days racing are still paying off, in big ways for us. And so it's been great to have him.
Okay, when are you going to swing your leg over a motorcycle?
Well,
to race.
Yeah, never. I swing my leg over a lot, but not to race. Not to race.
Still tough for me to get used to that outfit of Graham Rahal. It's like a crossing guard. Crasher, hold on. I will unmute you. There you go. Go ahead.
Well, he did say that if he couldn't get this car turned around, he would be working the streets. So, yeah.
Oh.
I'm just saying. That's what the shirts are.
That's one way to make sure he gets quality time with his girls, because he's be the crossing guard for them to go to school.
Oh.
Yeah. When Memorial Day hits, it's nonstop for, I don't care if it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels. If you're a team owner, driver, part of a team, it is bananas. And they have 2 kids or 3, Crasher?
Of course, you put me on the spot. 2.
2, right?
Yeah. 2. Yeah.
These schedules are just getting crazy. And I kind of just, speaking, I talked about this last hour. Whenever I talked about how progressive NASCAR has been. I think the way that these drivers continue to talk, the drivers are out front and saying, the season is so long, we don't have enough off weekends, without them saying, can we have more time off just to spend with our family? I know it sounds kind of trite, or it might sound kind of like it wouldn't be that appealing to the blue collar worker. I get it. But given how much time these cats spend on the road, man, and away from their family, I have one daughter, and how homesick I will get. And I'm not racing. I'm just covering a sport. I can only imagine these guys, like he said about one of his daughters, where she's got 104 degrees temperature. The morning he's going to get in a race car, Barber, wherever it was.
Yeah, Barber.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd be in the corner, balled up, crying.
I could say that, yes, he would be. Kenny doesn't like hot temperatures.
No, I'd be crying if my daughter was sick and I had to go out and work. That's what I meant.
No, I knew that's what you meant. Yes, but yeah, you do kind of freak out, like, no.
Well,
get her to the doctor now. No, she's fine. Tylenol works.
Well, regardless, Graham Rahal here in the Freak Nation. Graham Rahal, who, again, when a 10-year-old looks up at the pylon and goes, Graham Rahal, he's running the top 10. Could win this thing.
She knew he had a hard time qualifying. She knew it's been a difficult month.
Yeah.
Hey, he finished 15th.
There you go.
Started 33rd, so that's a huge step.
Mm-hmm. And with a Honda, of which so many of those motors were just.
Yeah, and a manufacturer that a lot of folks are saying, they're kind of sitting over there in the corner going, all right, IndyCar, where are some of these promises that you promised?
The series cannot afford to lose Honda. Nope.
You can't afford to lose people, sponsors.
Anything, right.
Anything. They need so much.
Hell of a show, man. Hell of a show. Crasher doing it from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Media Center. Richard C. Suave in Phoenix. Statman in Columbus. I'm at a home studio in Indianapolis. I don't know how we do it. Well, you saw a portion of the show where Crasher's lights went out there at the Media Center.
We did. It was about 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway lost power.
All right. Richie, when you leave the Freak Studio, be sure you make sure Omar, the cat's outside of the studio. Okay, buddy?
I will triple check.
All right, good deal. All right, man. Happy Memorial Day to all of you out there, Freak Nation, and much love to those who've given the ultimate sacrifice, men and women here, the great United States of America. Yep. Statman, shoot the juice to the moose.
And cut it loose.
Yep.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300 hits Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, and the racing will be rocking. It's more than just the cars, it's all about the party. Country music's hottest new star, Riley Green, Big and Rich with Gretchen Wilson, Brittany Spencer, Tim Duggar, and Ludacris cranking the party into overdrive. There's something for everyone, and your access to the Confluence Music Festival is included with your race ticket. Go to WWTRaceway.com now.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Looking for power to spare? Count on an FVP battery. FVP. Verified, proven.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.